Hey, how's it going? I'm Pete Alonso with the New York Mets, and if you're watching this, you just lost to the San Diego Padres.
Well, he's not wrong. You're telling me that a Padres fan has kept that in their camera roll and been plotting this since probably spring training? How did Pete not know that was going to come back to bite him? What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. I hope you guys are having a great day because we have a lot to talk about in today's recap. The Angels, as you guys have been made aware of by everyone and their mother, they are in complete disarray right now. Marcus Semien, who has been one of the worst players in baseball to begin 2022, has made MLB history, and Ronald, he might be entering the conversation for top 3 player in all of Major League Baseball. Now, you guys know the drill. If you're going to any games, concerts, use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save yourself $20 off your entire order. Now, before we talk about Joe Madden and the Angels, let's talk about the walk-off from yesterday. Dakota Hudson and Jeffrey Springs were both playing out of their minds, but St. Louis, they got their heart snatched directly out of their chest by a walk-off home run from Taylor Walls. He has a career 60 OPS plus, which means that he has been 40% worse than the average hitter to begin his career, but that's why we love baseball. You can be anyone, and at any given time, you can run it to a pitch, or you can save the game with a web gem. Baseball really has no favorites. I mean, unless you're the Angels, because they really just, not only are you not a favorite, they absolutely despise you. So the Angels started off yesterday by firing Joe Madden. Joe Madden, say what you want about his tactics, but I don't think that he was to blame. I really don't think that this solves anything because the players were the ones that were losing 12 consecutive games. Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani, they were in a big time slump. The bullpen has been terrible, so the scapegoat was made. Joe Madden is essentially trying to be Joe Girardi 2.0 in the eyes of the Angels management, so they're trying to rally the troops, and it didn't work yesterday because the Angels lose in heartbreaking fashion. Yeah, they got a home run from Mike Trout, but he had to get taken out due to a groin injury. Now, he says that he's going to be all right, but like I mentioned, the Boston Red Sox do come away with the victory, and if you ask any Red Sox fan, they're probably like, Joe Madden, Joe Mama, we don't care who's managing that team. We want to play them because if we play the Angels every single game, we're never going to lose ever again. Yu Darvish shoved it for the Padres yesterday. We already hinted at this in the intro, but he was so good against the Mets. The Mets got smacked around in a 7-0 loss against the San Diego Padres, and in the process, they lose Starling Marte and Pete Alonso to injury. Pete, I'm praying to the baseball gods that he does not have a broken hand, and Starling Marte, he might be missing some time, so the Padres absolutely douse the New York Mets, and the Mets have been suffering a few injuries as of late, so I'm not going to write them off. Their recent struggles can be attributed to exactly that. They've had some bad luck, and I'm not really going to go into them as the struggling number 1 team. They're still really, really good. Don't get it twisted. Cleveland, they win game 1 pretty easily as they popped off for 6 runs. Owen Miller and Oscar Gonzalez, they were kind of the stars of the game, but honestly, the story of the doubleheader was Marcus Semien. He banged out 7 hits and 3 homers, along with 2 stolen bases. He is the second player since 1901 to have that stat line in a single day. He's now hitting .329 with 6 home runs, 7 stolen bases, and a .1089 OPS over his last 13 games. So he is finally earning that contract that he was given out, as opposed to basically being on America's Most Wanted for thievery. Anyways, let's move on over to the Marlins game where Jazz Chisholm and Nick Fortes both had the game of their lives. Jazz Chisholm hit ball 4 for a grand slam. Yes, that ball was off the plate. It would have been ball 4, but he settled for 4 RBIs. And speaking of 4 RBIs, you have Fortes driving in 4 of his own. Jazz, he adds another 2-run bomb just for fun, and the Marlins, they could be a sneaky little fun team for the rest of the year. Maybe a playoff wildcard team. Who knows? That pitching staff is so deep, and the offense, they can run into a few baseballs every now and then. 4 separate Reds hitters had 2+ RBIs. Joey Votto, Brandon Drury is having himself a breakout season. Reynolds and Stevenson, they all belted home runs for Graham Ashcraft. This kid has been lights out. He's only striking out 4.9 hitters per 9 innings, but he has 3 earned runs in his first 25 innings pitched, and the Reds have now won 2 in a row, so shout out to Cincinnati. They're playing the Diamondbacks today. I feel like that's actually going to be a pretty fun game to watch. Michael Kopech was finally himself. He put the Dodgers in a blender for 6 scoreless innings where he allowed just a single hit with 8 strikeouts, of course, over those first 6 innings. He comes out and the offense delivers with 4 runs to give him an opportunity to win the game. The bullpen, they deliver, and they actually close it out for the 3rd consecutive W. So the White Sox are playing really well. The Cincinnati Reds are playing decent. A lot of teams are on winning streaks, and we'll talk about those other teams in just a moment. Actually, let's do that right now. Aaron Judge might hit 91 home runs this year, so that is home run, I think, 21 or 22, and then Stanton and Rizzo, they both get in on the long ball party with home runs of their own, so they bail out Jameson Taillon, who for the first first time this year wasn't all that great. The Yankees are one of the toughest teams in baseball to beat because they can do damage with the long ball, they can hit doubles, they have a fantastic rotation and bullpen, and even Joey Gallo collected 2 base hits. The Yankees have won 7 games in a row. They are the best team in baseball right now, in my opinion. Them and the Dodgers are really good, and the Mets, and a lot of other really good teams, honestly. There's a lot of parity in baseball this year, which I very much enjoy. Now, this next game, both starters in the Giants and Rockies game were not that great, but Herman, he limited San Francisco to 3 runs, and that gave Chuck Nasty the opportunity to deliver in the pinch. No, quite literally, he hit a pinch hit, game-winning 3-run home run. The Giants fall to 15-17 over the last month. That is not a good sign. Because we hinted at them earlier in the video, let's talk about them right now. The Phillies, yeah, they're trying to win every single game without Joe Girardi. Ranger Suarez kept the game close, and rookie John Alexander twirled a gem for the Brewers, but it all came crashing down in the 9th inning as Josh Hader very uncharacteristically imploded. With homers from Bohm and Vierling, that puts Philly in the driver's seat, and Knievel is able to finish them off to send Philadelphia to their 5th straight win. They have not lost since they fired Joe Girardi. So pretty much the Angels were looking at the NL version of themselves and thinking, we have to do that right now. It didn't work, but I feel like they might reverse the curse today with Reed Detmers on the bump. They are facing Nathan Eovaldi, so that is going to be tough. The Royals might be the most embarrassing team in all of baseball, along with the A's. Like, there is just no juice in these franchises. So let's talk about the Royals first because they were facing off against the Blue Jays. Toronto, they scored 7 without hitting a single home run, and Alek Manoah kept his streak alive of making light work of opposing lineups. In his first 181 innings to begin his career, he has a 2.68 ERA and a 9.3 strikeouts per 9. He has a 1.8 ERA in 2022. The man has been lights out, and because we brought up the A's, yeah, they were pretty much single-handedly beat by Ronald Acuña Jr. He hits 2 home runs, and he made sure to enjoy both of them because they were prodigious shots. He's hitting .320 with 5 home runs, 10 stolen bases, and a 160 OPS plus already. The kid, in my opinion, when healthy, is a top 5 player in all of baseball. Michael Harris II makes a sick grab in center field for Kyle Wright, and Heredia's home run proves to be the difference. Kyle Wright tossed 8 innings with 7 strikeouts. He has a 2.39 ERA on the season and a very impressive 2.75 FIP. The Braves have won 8 in a row, and they are gaining ground on the Mets, but they're still 8 games back, but they're winning a bunch of ball games. Tarek Skubal got unlucky with the box score. I feel like he didn't deserve the first of 3 earned runs, but his offense kind of made up for it. They scored 4 in the middle innings. Skubal ends up with 9 strikeouts, and right now he is my favorite pitcher to watch in all of Major League Baseball. Also, a side note, Akil Baddoo, Riley Green, and Robbie Grossman all played in yesterday's AAA game, so the reinforcements are on the way. If the Tigers can get healthy, I feel like they can be really good going forward. JV, Justin Verlander, was back to aging like fine wine. He got some payback after getting lit up against Seattle the last time that he pitched against them. He struck out 12 different Mariners, and he got some help from Kyle Tucker and Jeremy Pena. They drive in a few runs, and that was all right before Yordan Alvarez finished them off with one of his shorter home runs of his career. That was 353 feet, but it still counts the same. That is 17 home runs on the season. And last but not least, the Baltimore Orioles made the Chicago Cubs their personal batting practice pitcher. They ripped 5 home runs in the first 6 innings of this game, and I need to shout out Austin Hayes. He now has 7 home runs, 30 RBIs, a 140 OPS plus, and one more player. Ramon Urias, over his last 133 games, 24 doubles, 13 home runs, and a pretty solid and respectable 104 OPS plus. If Adley Rutschman can get going and DL Hall gets called up and Grayson Rodriguez comes back from injury, the Orioles, they could be a good team as soon as next year. Those are all of the games from yesterday. Again, thank you for your patience. I do have some errands to run, but let me give a few shout outs to the super thanks from yesterday. Alex, he showed some love, and he says that the Rays have been struggling with injury, but I think the Tampa Bay Rays are going to be just fine because of their pitching staff. Stupid Failure, yeah, that is the person's name. Interesting name, by the way. When it comes to Adley Rutschman, I have all of the faith in the world. We saw that J-Rod and Bobby Witt Jr. both had slow starts to 2022, but they're picking it up. I expect no less from Adley Rutschman. And Brooks asked if I like human umpires or robot. I like the human aspect because ejections are fun, and I do like when they mess things up because clips then go viral, but then when you're striking out Miguel Cabrera on a 3-2 count with the bases loaded and a ball that was nowhere close, that is going to be a problem every single time. And also when they're botching perfect games like what happened to Armando Galarraga. So I guess let me know, do you like human umpires? Do you want to see robot umpires in the future? But that is going to do it for today's recap. Enjoy the web gems.
That's driven towards right field. Joe Adell comes in, leaps, makes the catch. Well, still the head and the eyes are going for that baseball that was hit very hard.
Hosmer hits one slowly past the pitcher. Guillorme bare hands and throws, and he got him! Amazing play by Guillorme and a fine play by Davis to hold the bag. Look at this throw. Off the hands, short right center. Betts makes the play.
Oh, how about this stop?
Crawford, defensive play, has to lay out. Now comes the easy part, just making that throw to first, because you know you got a half a day to make it.
And he goes the other way. A base hit down the left field line. He will dig for two. The throw on the money, and they got him.
Ground ball left side, diving stab Urias. Gets up, goes to second. Got him! What a play by Luis Urias. Diving effort, taking a run off the board potentially.
0-1. Swinging a line drive, caught by Bichette, leaping into the air, and they'll easily double off the Royals. On a sinking line drive into the glove of Bo Bichette to retire the side.
2. And this is in the air, out to the alley in right center, and wide lays out, and he makes a spectacular catch.
Tremendous speed. We talked about that athleticism, and here it is, folks. Great athleticism as he lays out and just barely gets it in the glove.
Cruz out toward right center field. De La Cruz ranging over, makes the catch.
Alertly, De La Cruz, after he concentrates to get this ball, what a leaping catch. That's
1. Lashed opposite way, down base hit. Almora sprinting after it on a slide, pops up, fires to second base.
Yeah, damn, we done came far. The blessings soon pay off. I don't get a day off. Feel like the playoffs, they like, way I gon' take off. Dale got laid off, now we focused on trademarks. We just making hits after hits.